What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate, as always, every single one of you stopping by. Have some interesting news, as always, to share with you guys. Some things that have been happening, some updates on Quant, some updates on XDC. So you guys are going to want to watch this video to the end. Now, but first, some articles to kind of paint what's been happening. And just to remind you guys, we do have this executive order coming out on crypto here from the White House here. You see, obviously they've been working on that, so we'll be paying attention. Now, from what I'm reading and finding out, this executive order probably isn't going to have any direct direct mandates or anything. There's the word I'm looking for. But it's mainly just going to be encouraging different federal agencies to really, I guess, push forward their ideas for their implementation. You see here, the order is going to direct federal agencies to consider potential regulatory changes in addition to the national security and economic implications of crypto. So, as the new system continues to roll out, they're just going to want to see that mainly they being, centralized government powers can essentially continue to control our payment system. Now, with talk with Russia being able to evade sanctions, there's just worried that certain crypto payments rails are going to allow other countries in the future to, if anything, continue to get around sanctions. There's only going to be for so long that, centralized powers are going to be able to, continue to rely on sanctions, rely on SWIFT. So they're wanting, though, to ensure, I would say, that any kind of, system we march into, there's going to be ways that control can be essentially kept over that system. So it'll be really interesting to see what that actually entails. Now, smash the like button if you're ready for this XRP lawsuit to be over. I saw this article today, and, Jeremy Hogan, if you're obviously in the XRP army, you know who that is. And I saw this right here. Ripple Labs is wanting to end this lawsuit with the SEC by September or October of this year. This is according to Jeremy Hogan. And it will actually, this article here, Ripple's actually agreeing to move the case back to November 18th in belief that the SEC case is going to be finished before then. Of course, it can settle any time. That's what he had quoted there. So we'll definitely be paying attention to that. I am excited. I watch this every single day to see how this is going to unfold. Now, moving along here, because I wanted to get into some other news here. Virginia passes bill is going to allow banks to provide custody for crypto assets. So Virginia here, if you're living in the United States, Virginia is actually one of the few states now that is really pushing forward into this, trying to make Virginia more crypto-friendly. They're unanimously passing a new crypto bill. It's going to allow banks to provide custody for digital assets. So this is good. I feel like things like this, if anything, is just going to make implementation and make rolling out of our Americanized CBDC system happen, which I believe is going to be a hybrid between decentralized and centralized. We're going to have, obviously, a central bank digital currency, but there's going to be other stable coins. I feel like there's going to be stable coins that survive. So it'll be good to see what states are trying to get a jump on this. It's going to, you see here, as long as they have protocols in place, the banks can manage the risk. That's going to allow the banks to provide that custodial service. So be paying attention to that. Now, this particular piece of legislation put before you see here the bill sponsor, State Delegate Chris Head. He was explaining to Fox Business the functionality. Basically, they want to codify the ability for state charter banks to become custodians of crypto. It's going to make Virginia the first in the country to provide this ability to banks through legislation. So keep paying attention to that. That'll be interesting here. Now, let's move on into the good stuff here. I found this article, and I am going to paint this picture here. I feel like some of you guys will like this. Santander launches loans backed by tokenized commodities such as soy and corn. Now, this is interesting because, check this out, the Spanish banking multinational has partnered with AgroToken, an agricultural commodities tokenization platform, to offer loans. And this is from today. This article is from today. Now, Santander, Spanish banking multinational Santander, they have their hands in everything. They have their hands in car loans. They're a very large financial firm. You see here they've launched loans in Argentina collateralized with tokenized commodities. During a trial period in February, Santander already delivered loans to Argentine farmers in conjunction with AgroToken, an Argentina-based agricultural commodities tokenization platform. This is the first time a financial services platform has used blockchain tech and crypto assets to expand the agricultural credit market and unlock farmers' business potential. Now, what do we know is related to trade finance? What do we know deals with different types of liquidity and unlocking liquidity for small and medium enterprises? Obviously, we know that XDC is going to be that. Now, if we actually see Santander, who are they partnered with? Santander, if we'll remember, is actually part of the ITFA here. So what you see here is Zenfin's XDC, the first blockchain company, is also partnered with that. You see right here, members include major financial institutions, ABN, we see Santander. So I'm suspecting here that this Santander partnering with this AgroToken, which I have this right here, I wanted to show you what this was, they're actually utilizing XDC. Now, they don't come out and say it. But, I mean, the first global tokenization infrastructure for agro-commodities. Santander partnered with ITFA, or part of the ITFA, rather, and then we know the XDC network is partnered with that as well. So they're essentially allowing farmers to receive Santander credits collateralized with tokens based on soybeans, corn, and wheat. So this is essentially going to allow each token corresponds to a ton of grain that the farmer has sold and delivered to a grain elevator, which is then validated through a proof of grain reserve test. I've never even heard of that, but that's the world we're marching into. After a farmer requests a loan from Santander, the bank will confirm on a platform developed in partnership with AgroToken whether the farmer complies with the conditions to receive the money. So that, again, this is just the future we're going into. XDC is definitely having a hand in this, and, you know, moving forward, like I said, I suspect that is actually the technology that they're depending on. And Zenfin and XDC, they are really pushing forward and making news. Now, in case you missed this as well, on Twitter, Dr. Martin Hisbeck, I don't know that I said his name right. I apologize there if I butchered it, but I wanted to point this out because he's actually over there, research at Uphold. You see, this was all over Twitter today. Not an official announcement. Side effects may include sudden euphoria, excitement, and uncontrollable urges to party, but they're saying they're working on getting XDC listed. They've had a lot of interest in getting XDC listed, so we'll see. They're literally saying right here, I said we're working on it. Nothing is confirmed, but this could be a really good entry point. If you've been accumulating XDC for a while, continue, not financial advice, but you know, this is only going to continue to get developed out. And kind of related, directly related to XDC, they're really pushing out how easy it is to develop on XDC. We're only going, you know, once they get listed, as we get new attention on the XDC network, we already know it's super easy to develop on there. We got the XDC origin here, create your own token on XDC with no coding required. So you can literally get in, tap into the huge network and support that XDC will allow tokenization of everything coming to a future near you. Now, what is going to allow all that to connect today and interoperate? Now, we know Quant. Now, I wanted to actually bring this up because you actually see Overledger is going to be a part of that. Now, they actually released some news today. This is from March 7th. QRC20 secure smart contracts have significant advantages over an ad hoc approach, including ease of deployment and interoperability, these tokens will become a key component for Overledger's blockchain-based payment system designed for corporate institutional use. Now, I wanted to point this out. Writing smart contracts is often a specialist and risky endeavor. It requires blockchain developers to master niche programming languages and ensure their subsequent code is resilient against attack. They're saying poorly coded smart contracts have contributed to massive fraud, hacking losses. They're citing here Ethereum. Obviously, we know this is going to be a huge problem as crypto continues to grow out. They want to really stamp down on any kind of fraud. And how do they do that in a safe way? Well, Overledger and smart contract creation, they streamline the process of creating secure enterprise-grade smart contracts. That's how we know, and that's how I know that this is going to be one of the most impactful pieces of infrastructure as we march forward into the future. And in all those people that say, well, we don't need the quant token, quant can operate without it, you'd have to have the quant token. There's so many use cases, and there's things that the quant token is needed for. Now, their recent 2.1.7 release launched a smart contract capability as a QRC20 standard. Now, we know what the QRC20 is. It's allowing for the standard for commercial stablecoins and payments. So there's going to be, in the future, a whole new, just a plethora of coins, I predict, that will be built on the QRC20 standard. It enables users to create tokens, approve them, decide how they're transferred, and provide information on account balances set limits to the total supply. Now, ERC20 tokens designed for deployment on Ethereum, but as we know, the QRC20 tokens will be blockchain agnostic and work across multiple different DLTs, and they do that with their API gateway. So I had this highlighted here. Similarly, instead of using cryptocurrency Ether as gas to conduct transactions or execute contracts, Overledger transactions are powered by the Quant token, and with seamless fiat payments available for corporate customers. And so that's how we know we've got to have the Q into utility token. It's important to note that Overledger is a DLT gateway and doesn't store data or information. Instead, it works as an abstraction platform that orchestrates interactions between various ledgers. All the data is encrypted at the source, and it cannot be accessed or manipulated. In this way, Overledger is facilitating a highly secure and decentralized blockchain system. We know that's going to be what the future is. And so the Overledger, they have different tiers. You see here the blockchain payment system. The first version, Tier 1 of Overledger, enables users to create smart tokens that can perform basic payment capabilities, such as making a credit or debit transfer or pre-approving a debit transfer. So we know this is going to be a key part of the CBDC system. So that's Tier 1. Its functionality is a straightforward person-to-person transactions. So essentially, Tier 1 is going to be peer-to-peer. It might help facilitate different payment infrastructures, for instance, like XLM and other decentralized type protocols that are going to be, again, person-to-person. Now, Tier 2 is going to add the ability to mint and burn smart tokens that function as programmable money. So people will be able to add secondary account owners, for example, a joint or business account to carry out batch payments. This use case is going to allow fintechs and projects to create open stablecoins, right, to control the supply to target individuals, groups, or companies as their user base. So again, community tokens, really the sky's the limit there on what you can create. Again, that's just telling you the incredible asset that we own here with Quant. Tier 3 is going to customize Overledger for use by financial institutions like retail banks. Contract owners, or the banks, are going to have an account override feature that provides full control for account balances. They're going to have the KYC, anti-money cannot talk today, anti-money laundering control in place. And then there's also a fourth tier on there that's just really going to have like higher level. These are going to be like bank to bank, intrabank, large cash flows. So a lot of multiple different tiers there. You know, that's just going to show you that a lot of different types of users, from enterprises all the way down to individual users who maybe want to use some new app, the new MDApps that will utilize different blockchains, all kind of like tied together. So this is really continuous development of the quant overall Overledger system here. And earlier this week, back on March 3rd, or last week rather, they even added support for Polygon. They continue to add more and more coding languages. They're already able to code in 12 different SDKs. So we're really just going to continue to see more and more development on quant and on our utility networks. This really helps push forward the envelope. So right now, I know everything's crazy with the Russia, invasion over there, and with inflation and everything. But right now, it's just the time where we want to continue to keep paying attention, keep focused on really what's happening. Just because one thing's happening over here doesn't mean that behind the scenes something here is happening as well. So it's important right now is a time to really pay attention. Make sure you have your financial house in order. With everything going on economically, who really knows? We could go down a lot of different rabbit holes here. But, I appreciate each and every single one of you. Know that we are in the right place. We are in the right place, regardless of what's happening economically, inflation. Crypto is, I've never felt more sure of something in my life than I am to say crypto is one of, if not the best hedge against our impending hyperinflationary fiat system. All fiat is designed to essentially go to zero, right? How long that takes, who knows? But these assets that we hold, that we see where things are going, these will be what I believe, and hopefully you believe as well, will lead us to a better financial future, especially if you choose to get in on the right ones. So we'll wrap up the video on that. That's really all I got. Wanted to share that with you and appreciate all of you for coming by. Please don't forget, smash the like button, leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you guys. What are you guys most looking forward to happening this week? Are you hanging in there? Are you selling? Hopefully you're hanging in there. But yeah, I would love to hear from you. Let me know what's on your mind in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.